entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Hi guys, I'm Griffin here, and this is my Raid Shadow Legends diary. So, to be quite frank, I haven't done a diary in a couple of days just because in my other game, DC Legends, they just released a Nightmare campaign, and I've been really focused on that and pushing out content for that. So, I'm coming back now to Raid, and what was funny is that at the same time that happened, something kind of exciting happened with me and Raid. I got to the Celestial Griffin, right? Now, I tried to beat this thing because I hammered through the first 2 times, and then of course the third time isn't going to be as easy. So I went back and I read the kit on yumilove.net, and I'm not about to read this whole kit out to you. I'm sure if you are watching this, or if you even care at all, you're not really looking for me to read out a kit to you right now. So what I'm doing is basically against the Celestial Griffin, you do not want to buff or lay down debuffs. That's or manipulate the turn meter, which is just taking a lot away from you. It's like every champion either buffs or debuffs. So what do you want from me? What do you want me to do? Basically, it is, in my head, I need to pick the champions that buff the least or have only 1 buff, and don't debuff, because the Celestial Griffin will transfer the debuffs onto you, and then it'll give 10% extra damage for every debuff, or for every buff removed from your team. So it can just be a beast. I'm tossing in Doom Priest and Seal of the Drakes as passive heal. Because there's also this, if your health drops below 50%, then it will attack you immediately and quite possibly kill you. So, after those 3, Raglan for the defense, we have Seal of the Drakes for the passive heal. She does buff once and manipulate turn meter on her A1, but I mean just one time, and the turn meter manipulation isn't stupid, so that's fine. And then Doom Priest also removes a buff every time she gets a turn. She's my second fastest champion, and she also does the passive heals. So now, who do I feel into? Oh yeah, and actually, just to be 100% transparent, I already did a video like this today, and there was a whole bunch of background noise and banging and stuff, so I decided to do it again. Now, in that video, I was using Elhain as the damage dealer, and I noticed that her gear was super old, and so I've put some other gear on her now. Her A1, her A2 does give a buff, which, okay. I think that's okay. I think that'll be okay, because that means just 1 from her and then 1 from Seal of the Drakes. So it's not anything too ridiculous. I should go ahead and level up this banner. How much silver do I have? Probably not enough. Ugh. All right, so you know what? Just so I don't have to cut and do all the other stuff, I'm going to try someone different. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to go back to Elhain, and then I'm going to try to use her as the damage dealer. But who could I use as a damage dealer that doesn't buff a lot? And I'm legitimately thinking about putting a best in. She does give 1 debuff, but her Divine Wrath is based on the enemy. Is not based on your typical scales. So, but that seems like such a stupid thing to do, to put in a negative affinity damage dealer. The negative affinity one is the one that's supposed to be dealing the damage. I mean, come on. All the other Royal Guard, he has an enemy max HP, but he's also lays down a debuff, but enemy max HP is limited to 10%. So is it really doing that much damage? Can't put in Deacon, can't put in Gersh, can't put in wow, I can't put in anybody. Really though. Chalk buffs. See your, it feels like I don't it. Oh my goodness, this is my whole roster. What am I gonna do against this thing? It's gonna have to be Elhain at some point. Okay, so who buffs the least? Won't use Yoshi. Won't use Razin. I guess I'll have to toss the best in there. Iron Brago does buff. How many buffs does Iron Brago give? He's giving out, I mean, 1 buff. but then 3 debuffs, one of which is provoke, which is okay, then stun. But the thing is immune to stun, so that doesn't matter. Decreased attack isn't going to exactly help us. And provoke, who cares if we provoke ourselves? I don't think that thing gets provoked, but who cares if we provoke ourselves? We'll still just be attacking the same enemy. All right, Iron Brago, I'm thinking on. Skull Crown gives out the weaken. Seer relies on removing buffs and does buff herself. Let me check Skull Crown. Let me look at Skull Crown. Let's see what she's working with. Skull Crown. She has the 1 weaken and the unkillable, which that doesn't matter really. The unkillable doesn't. You know, let me put in Skull Crown in place of Iron Brago, or in place of Iron Brago. Okay, let me put in Skull Crown. That's Ursula the Mourner. What are you doing? All right. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. I'm not sure how this is really gonna go. I'm a bit worried. And the last couple of times I've tried against the Griffin, it has gotten down to like a 3rd health, and then I get wiped completely. So once it finds its rhythm and it has 20 of those sky bonds, then it really does make a difference. All right, first wave down relatively quickly, as to be expected. Okay. Second wave down pretty quickly, and here we are. Now let's see how much a best actually hits for, to see if it's even worth it. Oy vey. That was 4K, so nah. Okay, but the speed down's back on us. Let's see what happens when a best has her Divine Wrath up. Maybe that helps a bit. 5K on the A1. Come on now. Cycle around. I need to see. Okay. Oh, and there go. Oh, but she does have the unkillable, so that kept her from falling. And then hopefully she can get healed back up a bit. Like, are you just not going to do the Divine Wrath? I mean, you should have it right now, right? I'm gonna go one more turn, and then if she doesn't use Divine Wrath, then I'm gonna have to figure something else out, or then just switch to manual. Okay, and Ragnar should have a heal coming up here too, right? Thank you, Relentless, for those extra turns. Oh, they're both hit. Mass Impalement puts down the decreased defense, but that's about to get transferred over to us. No. Yeah, decreased defense got transferred. Well, at least you revive a best. All right, Divine Wrath. Come on, think. Is she just not using it? Am I just put it on manual and do it myself? Because that's the only thing that she's in here for in terms of damage is the Divine Wrath. And you know what? Okay, if she gets revived, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take over just for a second because I want to see. I should have done Mercy. I want to see. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, make one bad decision. I want to see if she just not. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, it's clear that she has had enough time to, and now she's stunned, that she's had enough time to have used it. All right, so let's go ahead and resurrect Raglan, who will promptly die immediately, I'm assuming. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and leave battle. Let's put in Iron Brago instead, and then I'll call it a video and just keep trying to hammer my way through this thing. All right, so Raglan, Seal of the Drakes, Doom Priest, Skull Crown, Iron Brago. Let's see what that does. But it's so strange, like I'm just not going to be, I can't buff or debuff. Like really though. I guess for those with like massive accounts with all the champions, it doesn't matter, but mid-game, this is terrible. Then again, it is supposed to be in-game content, and I just said how I'm a mid-game player, so. All right, almost there. Come on. These waves were, I will say, a lot faster with the best in the lineup. Okay, here we go. Okay. I don't want to say anything just because I feel like I'm going to jinx it one way or the other. Like, no matter what I say, it's just going to go downhill the second I use words. Come on. Oh, it's going to transfer. Oh, no, just remove buffs. Okay. Then transfer. That's okay. And the cooldowns on these things. Oh, so fast. Okay, come on. Okay. So we've beaten where we were before. That's a plus. Oh yeah, I also forgot Iron Brago does that 10% up on his passive does 10% up on defense. So we are inherently stronger. Or have better survivability, especially Seal the Drake. She'll hit harder now. So All right. So what I'm going to do here, since it seems like it's kind of, I shouldn't say it. I'm just going to put this on, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to put it on 2x and then come back to you when it's close to the end or about to end. And so it looks as though that is that. So I'm going to go back at this thing later. I genuinely don't know how I'm supposed to build a team for this thing. I really don't. Or if I have to play it manual and then just use certain abilities. That might be what I end up doing. In any case, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.